Hey folks, Philly Boy J back here with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. I used to love that song. You're going to need some black pepper. You're going to need some bay leaves. You're going to need some parsley flakes. You're going to need some chicken bouillon cubes and some salt. Okay, you're going to need some minced garlic. You're going to need some whole oregano seasoning. And you're going to need some thyme. You're going to need some thyme to give it flavor and time to cook it. Alright, so those are all the seasonings that you're going to need. Okay, so make sure you have all of those seasonings. And here's some of the other ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need some butter and you're going to need some chicken broth. Okay? Chicken broth is going to give it that extra kick. Alright? Because we're making chicken noodle soup. And you're going to need some egg noodles. Some wide egg noodles. So make sure you have them as well. I got mine from Family Dollar. The vegetables that we're going to be using are 1 onion. How much you use depends on how much you're making, but I'll say about 2 carrots and 2 ribs of celery should be enough. Okay, so yeah. Now you can use chicken that you already cooked, that's already cut up, or chicken that's already cooked from like a whole chicken, and you can just chop it up and shred it into pieces. But if you don't have no already cooked chicken, we're going to be using some boneless chicken breast. The way I like to cut my chicken is the long way, like that. So I cut it the long way like that, and then that's the way you want it to look. And then I cut it sideways, so I want my chicken to be like in small little squares, kind of like the way you see chicken in Progresso soup. Okay, you ever see Progresso soup where they have like the big chunks of square chicken? That's the way I want my chicken to be. All right, so yeah, cut them up just like that right there. So there we have our chicken. Okay, big chunks of chicken. Some people like shredded chicken in their chicken noodle soup, but I like mine to be chunky. Okay, so I like to cut mine up chunky like that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to chop up our vegetables now. Okay, and I'm just going to show you guys how I chop up my celery. You want to chop up your celery like this, sideways. In chicken noodle soup, you want your celery to be a nice size. Okay, you don't want it to be too small. So we're not going to slice it down the middle and then slice it sideways. We're just going to slice it sideways like this. Okay, and then you're going to pull off those stringy things that may be left on some of your celery. You don't want that in your soup. Okay, you don't want to choke on none of them. All right. And with the carrots, make sure that you slice the carrots as thin as possible. Not too thin, but you want them to be pretty thin, because it'll take them a very long time to cook. Okay, and you don't want that. You want these to cook as fast as possible. So cut your carrots into thin slices like this right here. Make sure they're pretty thin. I'm being silly today, guys. Don't pay me any mind. Okay, so that's the way you want your carrots and your celery to look. Now, with your onions, you're going to chop your onions up into really small pieces. Okay, you don't want no big pieces of onions in no chicken noodle soup. That ain't going to be popping. All right, so you want to chop up your onions, and you want your onions to be pretty small like this right there. Okay, that's where we want our onions to look. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to get a pot or a pan. Now, I'm using a big size pan here. Okay, and you're going to add about 3 tablespoons of butter. Butter gives it additional flavor. Some people like to use olive oil, but I like to use butter. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to saute our vegetables. Okay, so we're going to add the onions. We're going to also add the celery, and we're going to add the carrots. Okay. And we're going to let these cook on, I would say, medium to high heat. Okay, I had mine on about medium to high heat. And we're going to let these cook for about approximately 15 minutes. Okay, so let these go for 15 minutes. Because what you want to do is you want to cook your vegetables just a little bit before adding the broth and the water and the noodles. So you're also going to add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. Okay, so add that minced garlic on up in there. That's going to give it that additional flavor. Additional flavor. Alright, so we're going to start our vegetables in, and we're going to cook them. As I said, these carrots, you want to slice them thin so it don't take them such a long time to cook and get tender. And we're going to like fry and saute our vegetables a little bit. So once our vegetables become soft after about 15 minutes, you're going to add your chicken. Now, guys, this is a very, very, very important step here. If you decide to add chicken that you already had cooked and you want to just shred that up, you can add that last. But it's really important after you add your chicken and it becomes white to cut the fire off, because if you don't, you're going to overcook your chicken and it's going to be real like tough. Okay, and we don't want that. All right, so we're going to add our seasonings now. The amounts that I would recommend you add, I would say the thyme, use about a half a teaspoon of thyme leaves. Whole oregano, use about a half a teaspoon of whole oregano. Okay, you don't need to add a lot of that. We did add 3 bouillon cubes. The pepper, you're going to add about a half a teaspoon of pepper as well. Now, with the salt, it's totally optional. I can't tell you how much salt to use. Some people can't have salt at all. Okay, but you are going to need to add, I would say, about 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add our broth. We're not going to add much, and we're going to add some water. Okay, just enough to cover everything, about that much right there. Okay, then you're going to remove your bay leaves. Okay, remove your bay leaves and look at that. Just look at that broth. Oh, look at that juice. You can tell it's well seasoned. Now we're going to add our noodles, and you can add however many noodles you want, however much you like to add. Okay, and then we're going to cut the fire back on, and we're going to allow our noodles to cook for an additional 8 minutes. And then that's pretty much it, guys. You know, that's pretty much it. You're going to add your little parsley flakes just for decoration purposes. Okay, and once you know your noodles are soft, that's pretty much it. You're gonna enjoy your chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you make chicken noodle soup. At least that's how I make mine. Came out tasting pretty good. I'm gonna get my bowl, and I'm gonna put my chicken noodle soup in that bowl. I want you guys to tell me how this come out. I enjoyed it. I really like it. This is the way I make chicken noodle soup. This is always the way I've made it. I learned from my grandma, and she was she wasn't a chef, but my grandfather was a chef. And my grandmom, I guess, picked up her cooking habits from him. But look at that chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup with a spoon in the bowl. Philly Boy J.